Till now, we have studied the chess compositions of Samuel Lloyd, Fritz Jogl. These were legendary composers. Now it's time to study another great composer, the chess genius of Wotawa. He was a great composer, and this is the first composition which I'm looking at on my channel. So hopefully, I'm very optimistic. I think there are some insane chess compositions that he has created. This is, in fact, one of the simplest ones. All right, and it's still stunning. It's incredibly stunning. It's still very solvable as compared to other ones for mortals like you and me. So let's dive straight into it. White to play, win the game. As you can clearly see, we have two pawns on the g file, but black is currently threatening to capture the pawn on g2, after which he'll be able to control the g6 pawn, and that won't be promoted. And that's we have to deal with that. How do we ensure the promotion of a pawn? The first move is quite brilliant. If you want, you can pause the video, definitely spend some time. It's really worthy. So the first move is going to be rook to f4, check. Well, okay, that's a check. What's the point of this check basically? Why are we giving up rook sacrifice? For example, if he goes king d5, avoiding to capture the rook. Now the point is to play rook to g4. This is exactly what we wanted to play. We protect the g2 square, the g2 pawn, and we support the g7, the g6 pawn, and he would basically go forward. That's unstoppable. For example, rook e2, there is just g7. He can give it a check. King c7, rook g8, and now just it's a matter of technique after this. King f7, and now we are winning. All right. Okay, let's go back. So after the check, rook f4 check, he has to capture. Basically, there is not too much of option, and this is the point. We wanted the king on the f4 square, so we can play the move pawn to g3. So look at this. There are two tactics, one after the other. The first one was an attraction. This is an attraction, a decoy tactic, right? And once the king captures, now we use a blockade, a line closing, right? Cutting the lines of communication. Pawn to g3 check. Doesn't really matter what you play. For example, you can play any king move. The point is, the rook can no longer go, I mean, it can go to the g2 square, but it won't be able to stop the g6 pawn in time. And if you take, let's say king takes the pawn, it's still a blockade because rook g2 doesn't do anything. We simply play the pawn going forward to g7, and it's unstoppable, right? The pawn cannot be stopped. So we saw two tactics back to back: an attraction, decoy, and then there was this beautiful cutting the lines of communication, or blockade as we generally call it. So what a phenomenal chess composition. I mean, it was such a small chess composition, and yet there was so much happening into it, right? So this is the genius of Wotawa. It's a new chapter that we are going to start, and we're going to learn and see so many of his brilliant, insanely brilliant chess combinations. This was one of the solvable ones. So until next time, see you guys, and do subscribe and like our YouTube channel.